don't know about you, but I'm feeling 22.
22?
22.
You're older than 22, Emily. I hate that.
It's not what you're saying when you were limping around last week.
I know. I got a cortisone shot. I'm good. I'm good. I'm
What
back.
are you talking about?
It's the first thing she said to me.
22 in the polls. Is anyone
22.
paying attention?
I thought you were. I was thinking 11, like the 11 wins.
That threw me off.
Whatever.
Honestly,
Honestly,
that's good, that's good put together.
Honestly,
I like
your
it. I like
singing
it.
is
I
just
like
so
it. It's good.
jarring in general that I couldn't really then kind of.
Oh, you do not want to hear me on the way to work with my Christmas jams then.
Boy.
Silent.
No, it's
Okay.
You remember in the movie Dumb and Dumber when he goes, you ever hear the most annoying
sound in the
you ever
world?
heard?"
Yeah.
That's what that sounded like.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks, John.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, well, just so they know,
Yes, 22.
and everybody else knows,
Yeah.
Liberty is 22 in the nation. Are they the best team in Virginia?
Oh, sounds
I
like
don't
it.
know.
Looking like it.
Some
Yeah,
other teams
looking
lost.
like it.
All I know is they're the only undefeated team in Virginia. So that's
How about
exciting.
JMU taking one on the
Ooh,
chin?
just had their heart.
And they
ripped out.
battled.
They did.
Battled.
They battled
They
back,
did.
thought it was over. They battled back, and then
Heartbreak.
heartbreaker.
Yeah.
The kid fumbled in overtime.
know, it
that
was
was a
right
game.
there. Yeah.
That was a
Yeah.
game.
Yeah.
Oh, what a shame.
Yeah, I have a feeling
that one really
Liberty
hurt.
fans listening to
That
this
one really
are,
hurts.
Yeah.
are still celebrating that loss. But Liberty makes history, winning its 11th game. Never has a team done that in the history of this program. So huge, huge victory. Before we get into like the actual game and recapping all of that, Joe, I'm curious, like as a player, how difficult is it to keep that mindset? You know, Chadwell talked a lot after the game about just keeping that mindset and the effort and energy that it takes to go week in and week out, the practice, the focus. How difficult is that for a team to continuously do?
Yeah, I mean, for young college kids, even professionals, it's very difficult. And so what you see happen is what happens with most college teams, and that is you've got 2 or 3 weeks of trap games where it's like, man, we got to find a way to win it. And a lot of teams it doesn't happen to, and they lose those games. I mean, you look at the Sam Houston State game.
That's a classic.
Right, you go back in time.
Right.
You look at that. You look at the Middle Tennessee State game.
Yeah.
Both those games were in like severe jeopardy. Yet sometimes it's like you play good enough to do it. Sometimes the ball bounces your way and you win. Other times you lose. And so Liberty's been fortunate this season to be able to come up on top of both those games. But yes, you're going to have that. And I'll tell you, I can't lie to you. Going into this UMass game, after the Old Dominion win, and then when we spoke with the coaches at UMass and they had 2 wins in a row, they had their quarterback back.
They had a bye.
They had a
Coach
open
Brown
week.
was
you
like,
could,
I
you
like
could
this
sense,
matchup.
you could sense that they felt good about it. So I was like, if they feel good about it and play really well, and Liberty thinks, oh, this is a 3-7 UMass team, we're going to go in and dominate, and they don't play well, it could have been one of those games. But I think Liberty's gotten to the point now where they're over the hump, right? They've gotten past those trap games, and now they see that.
You see it right out there. You see
it
the
like,
finish line.
Like we're hanging
It's right
on,
there.
right? We're UTEP, we get UTEP. Now you have no trouble getting up for a conference championship game. So if you can find a way to get those next 2, now you're then playing a big dog team.
Yeah.
And so you have no problem there, obviously. So they've worked their way through it. Now let's see how they finish it.
It's been really, really exciting to see.
Unbelievable.
What stood out to you the most in this game, Matt?
I mean, I think it was just the fast start. Like you've seen that now in back-to-back weeks where Liberty basically says, this one's over. Like it's the end of the first quarter.
And it was 21,
and it's like, well, what, do you want to talk about each of the 17 seniors the rest of the broadcast? Like, I mean, it kind of felt that way. We're like, well, this one's over. Let's figure out what we want to talk about, you know, moving forward. And that's been really impressive to see Kaden Salter come out with so much precision. He's been so accurate. He's made so many good decisions. To see them come out that way, that locked in at the beginning and set the tone. Now, Jamie Chadwell, I'm sure, is saying 2 weeks in a row, the second half hasn't been great.
Yeah, he
But
talked
you know
about
what?
finishing after
When
the
you
game as
score
well.
your first touchdowns on your first 5 drives, you probably afford to, you know, sometimes take it. Now, you're not going to be able to do that against every opponent. But, like, I'm really, really impressed with just how they've come out of the gates and just kind of said, hey, you're not even going to be in this. We're not giving you hope.
Yeah.
It's like we said in the Sam Houston game, you play a team that shouldn't hang with you.
Yeah.
You give them a little hope early on.
Yeah.
Same with
That's
Middle
right.
Tennessee. That changes everything. They haven't done that. They've given no hope to the opponent here the last couple of weeks.
One more regular season game that's at UTSA. We have a lot to talk to
Hold on,
about
UTEP.
on UTEP. What am I? UTSA.
You're thinking
I'm
of
thinking
Tulane.
Tulane.
Yeah.
Sorry. We will
Yeah.
talk a little bit about those New Year's 6 predictions and all of that, as well as.
I mean, that's serious coffee
hoops.
talk right
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's coffee talk.
Yeah. Hoops, bringing home some hardware from the beach. Myrtle Beach Invitational. We'll
How
break
about
down
the
some
Flames
basketball
hoops?
as
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
Could this be the best team ever?
No, stop
I don't
it.
know. I don't know.
Stop it. Here we go.
But
Oh,
first,
don't start with
5
that.
games in. Here we go.
5 games in, we got to do this already.
don't peak early. Don't peak early. I might have to have a conversation with Coach McKay about that.
Okay.
Sure,
So, and
sure
then
he'll
we'll
be all
talk
eyes and ears for that one.
Waiting on your call. Yeah.
You guys are so sweet. We'll talk about that Conference USA championship game is going to be. It's
A
gotten
little
a
spicier.
lot more interesting. Diego Pavia going into Auburn and
Diego-
handing it to Hugh Freeze and the
Diego
Tigers.
Pavia's got coach's number, doesn't he?
I
Oh,
I
man.
texted
Oh,
you. I
my
said Diego
goodness.
Pavia was put on this earth for one reason and one reason only, and that's to make Hugh Freeze's life a living nightmare. And he's done
He's
that.
done a fantastic
He's done
job
that.
of it.
So we'll break down all of that. But you mentioned Kaden Salter.
Yeah.
I think he's like, what, 2,400 yards through the air, over 800 on the ground.
This week he'll probably set both the total touchdown record and passing touchdown record.
Okay,
in
that's
single
what I
season
was
for
going
the
to say.
Flames.
Like, what are some of those records he is inching up on? Because
And we were talking about it to our credit. No, actually, I think it was.
what did that one guy say about Matt Warner way back in the day?
Yeah.
Like that how arrogant he is
Yeah.
or something? What?
No, what was that?
If you want to send in,
I
you know,
gotta go
some of our
find that.
character
I
descriptions.
gotta find that email.
That's Flame Central
Yeah.
at liberty.edu. You know, they call me the glue.
Yeah.
Matt's whatever you want. Just
Whatever we do.
you know.
Yeah.
Email us
Maybe it was an emailer that pointed it out. I don't remember. Who's to say? But we've been tracking it for a while, getting to that 40 total touchdown mark, which is Malik Willis's record.
What is he at? 38?
Well,
37?
if the Liberty Athletics website
It's
could be
holding true.
just a little
know.
quicker.
I'm actually disappointed in
well,
Matt
it's
Warner.
not-
Usually he has all of this prepared.
You know-
must have been a.
I'm on dial-up right now. Do you hear that?
I know.
You remember that old sound? Like, Mom, get off the
Ding,
phone.
ding.
Trying to get, yeah, it's that whole
Oh
deal.
my gosh. All right.
Yeah, well, Salter, 11 rushing touchdowns,
Yeah.
right? Spinning wheels, spinning wheels, spinning wheels.
Okay.
It should not be this hard.
It's so difficult. What
I'm just
was that your
enjoying
player?
it.
Unbelievable.
Was that your player?
I
of
could
the
walk
game,
over
Joe?
to Todd Wetmore's office and get this information faster.
Speaking of Todd Wetmore, whenever you're looking that up on dial-up, I'm sitting behind the bushes,
Refresh.
you know, like doing some prep, about to interview Coach Chadwell off the bus, and in the distance, I hear, "Hey, Todd," from a Liberty fan. "Hey, Todd, they give you a shout out on the Flame Central podcast."
Really?
And I come popping out of the bushes, and I go, "You're a listener? Somebody listens to that thing?" I got to give him a shout out because I know his name. Cody Bucket Hat Moose.
Yeah, Cody. I talked to Cody.
You know
Yeah.
Cody?
Yeah,
know
Cody
Cody.
came by the Alcova Mortgage
Oh, yeah.
stand. And before I was over at there handing out mugs, I was shaking babies and kissing hands. And so he came by the stand, and with Cody and I had a nice long talk.
Oh my gosh, it's
Yeah,
amazing.
great
so,
guy.
so Cody,
Great guy.
shout out to you. It's the Bucket Hat Brothers tailgate. Apparently,
yeah.
they put the Flame Central podcast on.
Oh,
28 passing TDs, 11 rushing. So he's one. So there you go.
Matthew,
But
Matthew.
how
We
many
get it to you.
total? How many total?
So 11 plus 28, that'd be what? Give or take 39. Yeah, give or take 39. 40 is the record, the total touchdown record.
Ooh, that's gonna be close.
Yeah,
you know, he's gonna really have
three
to
more
put in
games,
the
yeah.
work. You know,
Matthew,
Yes.
team statistician.
Yes.
Um,
Don't make me.
no.
That's Todd
Listen.
Wetmore.
Yeah.
Listen. How many yards rushing does Kaden Salter have right now? I didn't even think about this.
800 and
823.
Okay, so he's
Closing. He's
so-
going to get probably 1,000 yards.
So if he gets 1,000, and how many yards passing does he have right now?
24.
20, just over 2,400, 2,409.
Why do
And
you
he-
ask
and
Matt this
be-
kind of stuff and not me?
Because we put him in charge of stats.
Just because I had one bad hit on the sideline, and you
There
just
he is. You had great hits. So look.
Yeah.
So there's a chance
Yeah.
that he's going to go for 3,000. He could go for 3 games, right? So he's got to throw for 600 yards in 3
3,000
games.
pa-
So you go
passing,
3,000 passing and
1,000
1,000 rushing. That's what I would like to know.
That's
How many quarterbacks in NCAA history have ever gone 3,000 passing and 1,000 rushing. That's a short list.
I mean,
That's what to chase after, because he's 100 and whatever it is, 70-some yards away from that, 177 yards away from that.
Okay.
I am a mortgage banker, so I did that.
Jaden Daniels, boy, Google's a lot faster than what I was trying to work with. Jaden Daniels, LSU quarterback who, in my mind, should win the Heisman. He's been unbelievable.
Yeah.
According to this article from, it must have been recent, said that he was the 7th player to join the 3,000, 1,000 club, joining some guys like Vince Young, Johnny Manziel, Deshaun Watson, Lamar Jackson, Kyler Murray, Jalen Hurts.
Oh, my goodness.
Very exclusive club.
Dude, that's the one to chase.
And that's a great point.
I mean,
that is...
Wow. Joe.
That's what I'm talking about. Forget about, like, he's going to break Liberty stuff. That's
that's over now.
That's a foregone conclusion, right? That's a done deal. But if he goes 3,000, 1,000,
so he averages on the year, he needs just under 600 passing yards. He averages on the year 219 a ball game. So if he does his average, he will get that.
That's 3,000.
Rushing, he needs about 177 yards, right?
I already did that math.
Okay, good job.
Yeah.
He averages about 75 a game. So he's on pace to blow that out of the water.
Oh my gosh, this is incredible.
I mean, now you just threw your name in there with legends of college football. Those every name you mentioned. You know how many Heisman Trophy winners are in that lane?
Could I ask something? And I almost said something on the broadcast, and I thought, no, that just sounds too ridiculous. Should Kaden Salter get an invite to New York for the Heisman?
I mean, he won't. Obviously.
But should he, like, if you're in that, like, that's not just these are the best of the best.
That's all time.
I mean, but they were doing that against the best of the
Right.
best. So that's a little different, but and I'm not knocking on
No, that's true.
I'm just saying they did that at the highest
and
level
not
in
saying you should win it, but that's still
100%, because even though I agree with you, Emily, like what you're saying there is true. Is like you're going against the best competition.
All
However,
of those players are in the SEC or the
correct. However, what I'm saying is that there also is thousands upon thousands of other football games been played in all those other conferences, and nobody else has done it.
I'm not knocking on like what that actually.
That is an incredible. That's the thing for him to chase right there. Obviously wins number one.
I mean, do we need to right now on the show?
Hold
on. Do we need to right here on the Flame Central podcast, powered by Alcova Mortgage? We need to officially launch the Kaden Salter Heisman campaign? That's the question. Powered by Alcova Mortgage.
And the answer to that is yes, yes, and yes.
Okay, there you have it. Kaden Salter for the Heisman.
Kaden Salter for Heisman. Why not?
It's not that crazy.
I mean, we are delivering you stats that no one else can provide, and it is powered by Alcova Mortgage.
Bam.
Well, other people
it's almost
could certainly provide.
Too easy. And for all your mortgage needs, let's go to Alcova Mortgage. Alcova.com/Liberty. You get up to $5,000 of real money off your closing costs. And that's just not for the state of Virginia. A Liberty alumni.
Anywhere.
50 states. Take that back. 49 states. And
New York.
New York. We don't like them in New York anyway. A bunch of Yankees.
Oh my God.
I mean, I just lost all my Yankees.
Yeah, go to Alcova
Yacht
Mortgage
Talk just
or
got slandered.
We have had
Yacht Talk just got slandered.
New Yorkers email us, so I don't know if they have.
Alcova.com/Liberty, up to $5,000 off your closing costs, and we'll take great care of you. And if you live in a state that we're not licensed in, we are partnered up with Churchill Mortgage, Dave Ramsey, sponsored by Dave Ramsey Mortgage Group, to take care of you with the exact same deal in all the other states. Alcova.com/Liberty.
Can I say one more thing before we move on, just about this team and how impressed I've been? Like, I wanted to say, think about some of the injuries that Liberty has had the last couple of weeks. You didn't have Billy Lucas 2 weeks ago against ODU. You had Bentley Hanshaw get hurt in that game. You had Kenny Charles get hurt in that game. That's your leading, 5 touchdown receptions, tight end, your best defensive tackle. You had those guys go down. Tran Sibley's been out for 2 weeks. He's your second best receiver on the year. And yet, Liberty has kept getting better.
Yeah.
That, credit the players that have stepped up, but, this coaching staff as well, that every coaching staff in the world always goes, hey, around here, it's next man up. It's like, I've never heard a coach say it wasn't like that. No, we're just not going to play a tight end this week.
Austin
they
Henderson,
all say that.
Yeah.
But you're seeing it, and you're seeing them still execute. There's no step back. There's no the tight ends, They had to do it all without. No, you see Austin Henderson have 2 touchdown grabs. You see Aaron Bedgood become more involved in the rush. Like, you see them find ways to still be just as effective. There's no step back despite the injuries that they've sustained here lately.
Yeah, it just speaks to the coaching staff and how they've been able to develop the group that they have instead of, a lot of guys left and there's a lot of room for excuses for them to make, and they've, only rose to the occasion.
I think the part of this team that doesn't get enough credit is the defense. The offense has let up huge numbers, right? But this defense has improved drastically, especially in the past few weeks. And where they've gotten to be really good, when you start looking, is in the secondary. The way that Preston Hodge has stepped up and has as versatile as you can, like, he's playing the slot, he's playing in the corner, he's playing a corner, right? Brylan Green has shown himself to be an elite talent. Kobe Singleton has made all the plays that he needs to make. So when you start looking at their secondary as a whole, and then how well Tyron Dupree is, not only Tyron Dupree's knock was that he could play the pass really well, but he was a little bit suspect in the run. He's fixed that. I mean, he's fixed that.
Wait, 12 tackles in the first half.
It's like he's embraced that. Like, and then how much better Joe Carter's played.
Yeah.
The guys that stepped up on the D line now that Kenny Charles. So this defense, and then the job, and you got to give him credit, because I've watched. I mean, I've sat down with Coach Krantz and I've talked to Dino Waits and all the different guys on the defense, Skylar and the whole crew. This team, their defense is so young with a bunch of guys who haven't played a lot, right? What they've done defensively from a philosophy standpoint is said, we're not going to do a ton of different stuff. We're not going to make it like extremely mentally challenging on them. Is that what we're going to do is we're going to keep it limited and do what we do and do it really well. And that right there, that's hard to do.
Yeah.
Because people, you can say that, right? But these offenses these days are so good that if you're only going to do a few things, they know how to dissect and break you down to make you look bad, unless you are incredibly strong in your fundamentals of what you're doing. And that's where you've seen them improve. And I think that, as the players and coaching staff, the defense doesn't get enough credit, and they deserve it.
Yeah, and when we were on the UMass coaches call this past week, it was super impressive to hear the offensive coordinator, Steve Kasula, said that Tyron Dupree is the best linebacker that they're going to face.
They
faced this year.
They played
Remember,
Auburn.
they played Auburn.
Right.
So that's some pretty high praise. And
How was Tyron Dupree not playing before?
Well, yeah, I don't know. I mean, he waited his turn, like 6 years.
Yeah.
And making the most of it.
Yeah.
I know. He said in his press conference the other day, I feel like the grandpa. And I'm like, okay. Well, look at the 2 guys I work with.
what?
One thing that I held my breath
And that
a little
was your
bit.
shot of the day.
Yeah. Powered by Alcova Mortgage.
And Emily Austin's shot of the day is powered by Alcova Mortgage.
Well, you wanted to do a new segment.
Oh, yeah, we did have a new segment. I like my segment. It was a good segment.
Is it a play of the game?
Save it for 24.
Yeah, Yacht Talk. Yacht Talk's big.
I did hold my breath, though, when Kaden Salter was diving into
the Heisman campaign about ended right there. When he goes head over heels, lands on his neck, and then fumbled through the end zone like that. Yeah,
Dude,
that was.
We can't do that when you have.
No, can't do that.
What do we have? 3 more games to play,
can't do that.
and we're up by.
Can't do that. Which at that point it was what, like 35 was.
Oh man,
10 or something. It's like what? Whoa.
I was.
Like I get it if it's late game. Conference championship game on the line, by all means. That was not the moment.
I talked to Willie Korn after it's over, and I said, what does that make you feel like that Salter's diving? He's diving in a, whatever the score was, 35-0, right? And he said, what does he think he is, MJ from Space Jam? That's what he told me. He said, what do you think is MJ from Space Jam? He dove at like the 10-yard line.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing?
Oh, man, that made me really nervous. Okay, so who will your player of the game be? And then we'll move on.
Ooh, I probably go Quentin Cooley.
What did he? You
that
said at one
60-yard
point
run.
At one point of the broadcast, he's had 4 carries and he has 80 yards.
Yeah.
He was like
It was
averaging
like 22 yards a carry or something.
Yeah.
It was good to see him pop a long one.
Mm-hmm.
That was fun. That was fun to see
really
him
fun.
rumble down.
He was rumbling.
Yeah, he was.
That was good.
He was.
Good.
People, I do think we don't maybe give him enough credit for, like, he's got good feet. And even on that play where he's kind of weaving through traffic, he's not just going to outrun anybody. We understand that. But, like, he is shifty enough that he gets out there in the open field like that and he reads his blocks well, that he made that. It wasn't just a clear-cut seized part. he's gone.
Yeah.
He had to direct, go through some traffic there, and he did the job.
He had a great line after that run. You'll see it this week's In the Fire, produced by our very own Donald Scott. Goes in the fire with Billy Dirk and the offensive line. One of the big reasons Kaden Salter has had this success.
Great.
Dirks is a legend.
What did they say on YouTube in that comment that you guys never let me finish a sentence?
Only one person said that.
Yeah. It must be nice.
It only got one like.
It was me.
It
was my burner account.
Yeah.
No, listen. This In the Fire is really, really good. But after Quentin Cooley made that run, he goes, "Big backs can run too. Big backs can run." He's a good kid. So really happy for him there. Great stuff. So you got to catch that on the Flame Central show this week or on the Liberty Twitter. Speaking of social media, remember we brought up last week that Matt and I need to have some sort of contest for Joe's ticket giveaway. Okay?
Tell the people how they can get tickets to the conference championship
We're not messing around. I mean, now this Conference USA game has gone to a whole nother level.
I know.
With New Mexico State's win over Auburn, now you see how much they've improved. This is a rematch. So Alcova Mortgage has got 2 club level. I mean, you're hobnobbing.
Right.
You're hobnobbing. You want to
rubbing elbows with anybody who's anybody.
You want a soda?
Eat.
You want a soda? You open a thing, you grab a soda. You want some tea? You grab it. You want a water? You just grab it. There's no line.
They have the sweet tea with the extra sugar that I like.
They do.
Oh my gosh, you guys are so
Then you want some food? You want some food? You get that. Boom, food here, food there. You got
But it's like levels. It's like levels. Like, oh, you want hot dogs right now? Okay. Well, then in the third quarter, we're gonna bring out
you
some
want
pasta.
Dessert?
Or first it's Rice Krispies,
they bring out dessert.
and then it's brownies. Like it just keeps coming and coming.
The wife's
it's
feeling she's a little cold outside, right? Hey, honey, just go inside and warm up for a little bit. It's almost too easy. So the Alcova Mortgage is giving a 2-ticket giveaway. Now, Conference USA Championship. This is a big deal.
Yeah.
So here's what we're gonna do. We're doing the old school Dr. Pepper challenge football throw.
I want to say Dr. Pepper is not associated in any way.
It's actually
they are
Mr. Pibb.
not putting their name on
Mr.
this.
Mr.
Right.
Pibb.
The Mountain Dew, the Red
RC
Ball,
Cola.
RC Cola, Fresca challenge, right? So what we're gonna do?
Dr. Thunder.
Dr. Thunder challenge. The Alcova Mortgage,
Oh
the Alcova Mortgage football throw challenge. Matt Warner versus Emily Austin. So we've got the boards. We're getting the boards made up. We'll do it at the indoor. We can do it at the indoor, right? We'll do it at the indoor and a bunch of footballs, and we're gonna have a time throw. Matt's gonna play. We're gonna have a drawing. Okay, so enter it into the drawing. We'll get all the details to you. We'll have a post like that. Share that post, and then we'll enter in the drawing. Pick 2 names out of that, or pick a name for Matt. Pick a name for Emily. They'll be playing for them, and then we're gonna have a throw the ball through the round deal, boom, 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 and the winner gets the 2 tickets to.
I'm gonna give my hair extensions to Kaden Salter and have him throw for me.
So hey now, so go at Yacht Talk on Twitter. JAUCHTALK. Yacht Talk.
JAUCH Talk.
I'll put some information over
Emily
this
and I'll
right
share
now on if you're watching on YouTube.
It's gonna be huge.
But we'll share it.
It's gonna be huge.
Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We'll compile. So like and
then
tag.
like and then make your prediction. Who's gonna win?
Right.
Okay.
Make your prediction. Who's gonna win?
I mean, maybe this is a good time to say I was a 2-time, back-to-back intramural champion quarterback in college.
Oh, you're in trouble. You're in trouble, Emily.
You're in trouble. Just gonna throw that out there.
You said you got a really
I
good
have
arm.
such
Just
a good
gonna throw that
spiral.
out there.
I cannot wait.
There's some rules that have to be set.
destroy
Are you
you
allowed to
guys
do the
in-
chest pass?
No chest pass.
Matt is last in our Flame Central NFL
You are.
football league,
Easy.
fantasy
I'm
league.
coming on.
I can double both of your points, and you still wouldn't beat me in our Flames fantasy draft.
This has been the year of
Early.
Emily.
So,
This has been the year of Emily.
So the spiral that's going to come out of my hands and land in that little net time and time again, and I am never, ever going to quit this job, and I'm going to make sure Matt Warner knows every single morning
I
that
cannot
I
wait.
destroyed him, and he's
Because
going
here's
to
what's
come
gonna
out with
happen.
his
I can't
ulster.
wait to hear Emily start the. Oh, what's wrong with me? I just don't. I don't. What's going on? Yeah, that's what's gonna happen.
So
Wait, full-size footballs? I thought we were throwing the mini football. Yeah,
This
just
is gonna
wait.
be
Just
fun.
wait.
this is going to be fun.
This is gonna be a lot of fun.
Hey, so like it on whatever social media platform that you
Twitter,
see it,
Facebook.
and then tag who you would bring to the game, make a prediction. We're going to compile all of those names and make a drawing.
need to
So
do a poll,
we
too.
need you
We need
to
to do a
do
poll.
that this week because we're going to be doing this
Drawing
little
early next week.
Yeah, drawing early next week. So we'll keep you guys posted on that. Okay. New Year's Six. We'll quickly talk about that. I always say quickly, and we just continue to talk, but that's okay. Tulane wins again. Big, blowout.
Who's
basically.
Tulane playing in their conference?
Well, they play UTSA this week, which I think
UTSA is hot right now. Yes.
Isn't their head coach going for the
UTSA's head coach Jeff Trailer,
Texas A&M
who I got
job?
to know when he was Gilmer High School coach back in East Texas.
Really?
Great guy. He's risen up through the ranks. Great guy, great coach. They're hot right now.
Yeah.
So that is going.
good.
They are good.
What's the record?
So Tulane could lose this week. Very good chance.
UTSA is 8-3. They're actually undefeated in the American as well. So both these teams are 7-0 in the American.
American plays a championship game too, right?
Well, yeah.
Yeah, they're like all there's is every conference play a championship game?
I would assume
I would
so.
think so. Okay, so
They
could
have
to play
two
them
more
back-to-back.
opportunities. Yeah, they could. I don't know. Do they have divisions in the American? I could.
You know what?
Yeah, we're getting a little technical.
We're getting a little technical.
Yeah.
here.
Okay.
but we need
Matt's
Tulane
still
to-
on
okay,
dial-up.
Tulane could very well. Now,
So,
Tulane is hosting,
Tulane-
but they could very well
We
drop.
need Tulane to lose.
UTSA, SMU, Tulane, all 7-0 in the American currently.
Okay.
So those are Tulane and SMU are two teams that Liberty needs to keep an eye on because if those two were to meet in the American Championship, whoever won of that, like they could very easily.
Get that
They
New
could
Year's
very
Six
easily
bid.
get it.
So,
Even though SMU's lost 2 games. Yeah.
But have some inside info on like another great bowl opponent that could be in the works. So if we don't get a New Year's Six, I think that.
Well, bottom line is you put yourself in a position where you're gonna play what you would think would be the best bowl you've ever been in.
Right.
So in the best matchup, and so that's exciting no matter what happens. But obviously we're all pulling for Tulane to lose.
Bold predictions and mailbag. I actually have not even looked into UTEP. I thought we were playing UTSA.
Yeah, right. She spent
I'm
all her
kidding.
time
I was
focused on
prepping,
UTSA.
so now I'm gonna be.
Here's
so
what I can tell you. I can give you something just real quick.
Okay.
Because I did not have a whole lot of time to dive into it as well. They are last in Conference USA in scoring. So I think they average like 19 a game. So they are not a real explosive offense. Their defense is kind of middle of the pack in the conference. So this is a game that
Long trip.
Longest trip of the year for the Flames.
Could we get some guys back healthy this week?
Possibly, you would hope, like maybe a Sibley is able to come back. I want to say too, don't overlook the fact that Billy Lucas is looking more like himself, because that's big to get him back. There's also been some chatter.
Yeah.
Von Blue potentially here late in the year could still try to make a comeback. We'll see if that ends up
Hey,
happening.
Flames fans, just to let you know, last year they put in a waiver for conference championships that you can play without burning your red shirt.
It doesn't count towards your 4.
It doesn't count
Nor does
towards
the
your
bowl game.
4.
Nor does the bowl game.
So that's some good news.
that's some
If
good news.
Blue were to be healthy
Yeah.
to
Just
return,
adding another weapon.
That's my boy Blue.
Yeah.
So
Well, he's not on your team
so
anymore. I
Bliss,
don't
he's
think.
not on
Yeah.
his team anymore.
Well, he
but-
will be when he gets back.
We'll just let
We'll see
Joe
how that
do
is.
whatever he wants with his team. It doesn't
But yes,
matter.
UTEP has lost back-to-back games against Western Kentucky, against Middle Tennessee. So they're not playing great right now. And you would just think, as you said, Joe, it's all right there.
It's all right there.
Like there is no lack of focus this week,
Yeah.
or should not be from the Flames. It is
Yeah.
all right there. You get to play in the beautiful Sun Bowl, one of the great environments. I mean, not environment, one of the great settings in all of college
It's gorgeous
football.
setting.
Beautiful out there.
So are
don't
you?
cross
I
the
don't.
border and get in trouble on
No.
Friday night.
Okay.
Bed check Friday
don't
night.
need any of that.
Yeah,
Um,
lights
It's
out
right
at 10.
there. I mean,
I'm a
it's
little
like
nervous
the border's
about this.
literally right there.
Yes.
Outside the stadium,
Okay.
across the street.
I'm a little concerned about this Conference USA championship game.
yeah.
Like New Mexico, Jerry Kill is not
down.
messing. He is out.
Can I just say this?
Kill.
Okay. Outside of Jamie Chadwell, obviously, we love.
Yeah.
How great is Jerry Kill? We've talked about it before. He's
love
great.
it. I
Did
love
you
it.
see his
job he's
post-game
done there,
interview?
They did not. This was. You get some of those like, oh,
No,
that
I
was
didn't see
that was a little fluky. Yeah, there was no fluke in that beatdown of Auburn.
He went for it on
They were
4th and goal.
Dominant.
I mean,
They were dominant.
only up like 10. I think
That
at that
was
point.
impressive. But you know what? That's good for Liberty. It's good for Conference USA as a whole, and it makes this championship game that much more intriguing.
Interesting.
I'll tell you what, that it's all kicks and giggles around here right now, but
That's gonna be a war.
that's going to be I mean, they're coming in with a chip on their shoulder
Oh yeah.
because they got beat.
Yeah.
Okay, they got beat the first game, and they've improved drastically. They've got a confident, really good football team, and they're going to come in here to try to prove a point.
I'm interested.
And Liberty's
I'm nervous.
and Liberty's
Yeah.
going to be undefeated,
Right.
most
Yeah.
likely, right? Take care of business this week. You'd be undefeated, right?
Yeah.
I'm telling you what, that is going to be a knockdown drag out.
Liberty better be locked in. I mean, that's going to be one of
they'll
those.
be locked
yeah.
in.
By the
They'll be
way,
locked in.
I'll be interested to see how New Mexico State approaches. They play home against Jacksonville State this week.
Yeah.
So they finish with a tough test. Also,
Mhm.
we know Jacksonville State, they weren't eligible for the championship, but they are 6-1 in the conference along with New Mexico State. You think they don't want to end and be able to say, look at us. We were the second. Should have been like in that championship game. We were the second best team. They're playing for something. They're 8-3. And so that's going to be a battle too. I'll be interested to see if Jerry Kill,
This is where I was getting ready to go.
how
I know where you're going
does
with
he
this.
go all in here, or does he think, man, the bigger game is if we can win the
I
conference
heard on
championship?
that-
We're just gonna
If you're banged up.
If we're
you're
banged
banged
up.
up after playing Auburn, right?
And he even
In
said
this game,
That Diego was banged up.
that's
so
what he said in his
that's what
post-game comments, that
concerns me.
Pavia's been banged up, but he just simply won't let him take him out of the game.
Yeah.
So that's something that's interesting.
I think that Pavia has such a competitive edge to him. He's not going to want to scale back at Jackson.
But it's not just as I know we'll get time to preview it all. And we'll get deeper into this, but it's not just Pavia. That Eli Stowers kid that we talked about way back early, they're utilizing him more and more as a receiver.
Right.
They're putting him all over the field.
That's
He is
the
a
plays
big-time
quarterback
athlete.
too, right?
They bring him
Yeah.
in as quarterback.
Yeah.
He's another big weapon that you're seeing a lot now. They are very good.
Like
Yeah.
I said, it's all
It's
kicks
gonna
and
be a great
giggles
game.
around,
And wouldn't
around
it
the
be?
mountain right
Wouldn't
now.
it be great to have 2 tickets to watch it from the club level?
Oh,
Can you imagine?
And here, you know what? I don't even want. We can take this a step further. There's a chance they could be watching that game with your very own Matt Warner and Joe Young.
Wow. That.
Yes.
Matt's going to leave his
Twitter's
family.
gonna crash. Is Twitter gonna
might
crash
crash.
with all the
Twitter might
people
crash.
going there right now
Yeah,
to
Twitter
try
might
to
crash.
enter?
Yeah.
I feel
Wow.
bad for Matt's family. They're going to be so cold outside. He's going to go up with you, and you guys are going to be sipping tea together.
You know what, Matt? We should sacrifice.
Whatever.
You and I should sit outside, and we should let our wives take the tickets.
You guys would never.
And you're like, no, I don't want that.
You guys are the worst.
him. He didn't flinch
I'm
at
not-
that one.
I
He's
don't
like,
wanna- I
that's a
don't
bad
care.
idea.
We'll talk about it.
We'll talk about it.
We'll consider it. Hey, men's basketball bringing home some hardware. Holy smokes. Yeah, first of all, Coastal Carolina, I didn't realize they played in a high school gym.
Well, I don't know how bad their gym is, but they do have that unique.
Did you not see
It's
how?
ki- Well, it's kind of like Oklahoma State has this at Iba Arena, where the camera angle is almost, you feel like you're on top, looking
Yeah.
down on the
Yeah,
court.
yeah.
So that's a little different.
That was a knock on Coastal. I'm
But
sorry, guys.
yeah, why are you doing that? Like
I
they had
know,
nothing to
I
do with
know.
this. Like just focus on. Why can't you just
Sorry,
enjoy
I just-
Liberty's success? You're always looking to drag people down.
It makes me feel better
I
about
know it
myself,
does. You
Matt.
need to stop that. It's not just.
It's not about me?
They're just
Wait.
catching- they're just catching
he
strays
knows,
up
he
here.
knows
Wait, I'm gonna
better
tell
than
you
to
something.
finish
I'm gonna
that.
tell you something about that Liberty basketball team. I tuned into that game last night, and they got a squad.
Yeah.
I mean, that Matheny kid,
Dog.
that dude is a straight baller.
Yeah.
And when it came down to crunch time, first of all, the step back 3 hit
Oof.
was absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah.
But what I love the most is when it came down to crunch time, and he was doing the old dribble between my legs, dribble. I'm setting you up, dog. I'm setting you up. This is my hizzy. You ain't going nowhere because I'm getting ready to burn this hizzy down.
Yeah,
And
right.
he dropped that shoulder, went with a hard
Yep.
lean inside, came up, finished like that. Ball game. It's a wrap.
Not only that, your boy,
I like that kid.
Your boy,
I like that kid a lot.
Zach Cleveland,
And I like that kid a lot, too.
career high 21 points
Cleveland.
and 9 rebounds. That's following a night
Yo, Cheetah,
against
what's up?
Cheetah against Wichita State, where Kyle Rode had a career high 31. Like this is, we talked about balance. We're seeing it play out. Like who wants
Yeah.
it tonight? Who's going to be the guy? You know.
Averaging,
You know what
else? You know
Cleveland's averaging 8 rebounds a game. Then you got
What about when they went?
Kyle Rode averaging 19 points. I
What
mean,
about
they're
what
just-
about when they went 5 out and Porter hit him with the backdoor cut?
Yeah.
Backdoor guests are best, baby. Back whoop whoop little whoop whoop, and then backdoor layup reverse. It was clinic material.
And these 3 wins
Those were that was a
all
good win.
legitimately.
Oh,
like all
yeah.
these are like the mid-major. When you're talking about mid-major teams, Furman. We just saw them go to the tournament, beat Virginia. Wichita State, always a really good program. You know, they have a great history of success there in the American. Vermont, one of the great mid-major programs that are always contending for an NCAA tournament spot. and to beat all 3 of them the way that they did, all of them by double digits.
I know. Their
That
scoring
is
margin.
incredible.
Do you know?
almost
You know?
14 points.
You know what's exciting about this Liberty basketball team is because of what everything that Darius did, and I understand Richie realized that he had a generational talent right there in Darius, so he built everything around it and maximized his abilities, right? But to see them go from that and then turn into like, okay, we don't have that guy anymore. Now we've got to morph ourselves into being a really tight team and play all around team ball is fun to watch. It is fun for basketball people. That's fun to watch.
Okay, you have 5 Liberty players averaging double digits. So, like, don't get me wrong, like what you're saying, Darius, we miss him, we always will.
100%.
But
Absolutely, the
having
greatest.
5 guys scoring in double figures
They can
is
beat you from anywhere.
huge.
They can all shoot it.
And dude, when they guard,
Yeah.
you watch them guard, like, especially near the end of the game, it's like, they don't. There was a stat that I was blown away. There was probably like maybe 8 minutes left in the game. Vermont hadn't shot a foul shot. There was 8 minutes left in the second half, and they still hadn't gone to the line.
So 5-0, which, by the way, Liberty, the only program that has an undefeated FBS football team, undefeated basketball team.
Yep.
Only one in the country.
Yep.
Only one in the country.
Listen, look at this stat.
Yeah.
Give it
The
to us,
averages, or I'm sorry, the assists, Liberty, 50 opponents in those 3 games. Opponents, 24.
Yeah.
So Liberty is averaging about
Total unselfish
17,
basketball.
17 assists per game to their opponent's 8. So they're, you know, like that unselfish basketball is like.
This team is
it's the
so unselfish that I think they should put the picket fence plan.
Okay.
From Hoosiers.
Don't get caught watching the paint
Don't
dry.
get caught watching the paint dry and just run the old picket. Just run the old picket fence.
Yeah. Dennis Hopper on the sideline.
No, it wasn't Dennis Hopper.
Wasn't it?
No, it was.
no,
Gene Hackman.
but he got kicked out, right? Didn't he get kicked out?
That's right.
And then Dennis Hopper took over?
It's my fault.
Yeah, okay.
How dare I question
What are we doing here?
How dare I
Come on,
question
do we
you
know-
on Hoosiers?
Roll the tape. Maryland Eastern Shore Saturday. So why are you doing that? Why is she again? Why is
She's doing a shot at Maryland.
yeah right? What do you have against? They were actually good. They won 18 games last year.
We're on the call for that.
Yeah, we are. And then
Yeah.
and then
I'm gonna
Liberty
be
is
stuffed
in.
like a
Yeah, right. She's gonna be
The turkey.
tryptophan wearing off.
Turkey. Gobble, gobble.
Liberty in the Field of 68 event after that. If Liberty's 6-0, going to Florida Atlantic, which they were 10th in the country. Oh yeah, now you're all whatever. They were 10th in the country before they lost, but they'll be top 25.
Right.
Like you have a chance there. I mean, to really grab some national attention. Even last night, I saw your boy Jeff Goodman, some other national folks starting to say like, "Whoa, hey, this Liberty team, like, whoa, look, check out what they're doing." You have some chance to really grab. You got some big games still out there to make some noise.
That tip-off is 1 o'clock on Saturday, so tune in. ESPN Plus will be on the call for that. All right, any mailbag before we do bold predictions, Flames Fantasy, and get out of here?
Yes, I wanna give a shout out to. Let me find it here real quick.
Flames Central at
Send us your
liberty.edu.
emails. Jenny Rogers.
Jenny Rogers, that's a great name.
Joe and I met her
I
coming
love
off.
you, Jenny.
Joe and I met her
I do
coming
that
off
really
the elevator.
Yeah.
We took a picture with her. She was the one who we sent a mug to that got broken,
Jenny
and we
Rogers,
sent her a second mug.
unbelievable.
But love this. She's had some great things to say. She said she was really
love you,
sorry
Jenny.
she didn't get to meet Emily. She really wanted to meet, but she said your shoes were gorgeous. So she saw your shoes on the sideline. Not sure what shoes you were wearing. She liked your shoes. She also said, and this is one of the great compliments I think we can receive on the podcast. They're from Raleigh. They're NC State folks, but they have a kid that comes here now, and they've started following Liberty. And she says, like, that because of the podcast, they're not just Liberty football fans anymore. Now they're following softball, they're following field hockey, they're following soccer. Now they care about all of these Liberty sports because, you know, we talk about them every week on the podcast. So it was really cool to meet her. She loves the show. She was so excited to get to hang out with us for a little bit. And obviously we love that.
Cool.
I love you, Jenny.
Okay, I'm sure she's never
always
heard
loved
that.
you.
Yeah, she's never heard that before. You want the Snell scoring system?
Yes.
Hey,
From
before
our-
you go there,
yeah.
you know what I forgot to say? You know what was real exciting? I got to do the pregame speech for the Liberty women's volleyball team the other day.
Were you being serious when you said that?
100%.
Oh,
Yeah, I did.
That's why they lost.
I know.
Did
Well, they
you-
lost. They grinded, though. They battled.
They did. They battled.
Yeah, they
against
battled. They
each
were
other.
down,
Yeah.
and they got beat bad in the first set. Came back, won the second one. Had them in the fourth set.
Yeah, just
Thought they were
got
going
away
to pull
from
it
it.
out, then
Just
it
got
got
away
away from
from
it. But that
Maybe
was
if they had somebody, you know, that was really motivating.
That
they would've
was really
pulled it out.
that is a group of girls.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, I
You
love
went
it.
in there, and they just got a great happiness to them, a great countenance to them.
What can you give us
And
very quickly, briefly, what your message
Yeah,
was?
just real
We're
quick.
never
And did you remind them
we're
about
hitting about 40 minutes.
alcova.com/liberty?
I forgot about that part. But we did talk about persistence. The most essential factor is persistence, determination, never allow your energy or your enthusiasm to be dampened by the discouragement that will inevitably come. And I told him the story of Bobby Beathard, the general manager of San Diego Chargers, that the only thing he had in his office, the only thing was that plaque with the persistence and the definition on it. He had won 3 Super Bowls. GM at the top of his game. It was good. It was
to give anything less than your best is to sacrifice the gift. That's all you got to say. Steve Prefontaine.
Yeah. So no, it was.
He was the greatest American runner.
Yeah, that's good.
Maybe you can do it next year.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Well, we didn't get the W, but I'll tell you what, the girls battled hard.
Yeah,
And it's a great,
always
great
room for
group of girls.
improvement,
Yes.
Joe.
Yeah.
Snell scoring system.
Snell scoring
please.
system on our
We're just off
bold
the rails.
predictions. Things are getting tight down the
Well,
stretch.
that means Warner won.
I won.
Am I dominating? Oh,
I won. So here's the way it sets up with 3 games remaining, okay? Emily has 4.5 points overall. Joe has 3.5. I have 3. So Emily can win. Snell gave us a whole breakdown of how this can all go. One more win for Emily could steal it.
What?
Come on.
Yeah, because she would be up.
Come on.
With a win by Emily and a win by me, basically.
What was my score prediction?
Joe, you need 2 wins. You basically need Emily not to win the rest of the way. You need 2 wins and Emily not to win the rest of the
These
way.
scenarios can happen.
Yeah, it's a lot to bring up. But bottom line
Oh
is
my
it's
gosh, I
tight with
really
3
gotta-
games
I
remaining.
gotta
It's
get
anybody's ball
focused.
game.
I gotta
So
get focused.
so there you go.
Fantasy.
So,
Fantasy not as tight. I can tell you that.
But wait, time out.
Joe added
Time
some
out.
players.
I added players
the other
and
players?
I get Salter's players. I mean Salter's points.
Okay, here. All right.
Salter's points.
Chill.
I
All
get
right, hold on,
Salter's
hold on,
points.
hold on. So here's what we got. Joe, midway through the first quarter, added Preston Hodge and Billy Lucas.
We added it during the broadcast.
It's like during the
I
broadcast break.
actually did get a text from
Wait,
that. Hey, by the way.
Yeah.
And it was in the. I was like, oh, maybe you did
It
it
was
before the game,
before
but now
Hodge's.
the truth
It was
comes
before
out.
the Hodge interception.
You know what I asked Matt
my
in the booth?
gosh.
He said we're like in the first corner. He said, Joe, you need to add your fantasy players. I said, Matt, just leave it alone. Just wait till after the game's over. I asked him legitimately to wait till
was
after the
kinda-
game was over.
it's like
and
I'm
he was
hearing-
like, no way,
Yeah.
you can't do that.
I'm hearing
Like,
in my ear like our producer be like, all right, we're back in 10, 9. I'm like, Joe, who are you gonna add? Who do you want to add to your fantasy team?
There was one point
Like,
we said this.
I
We
can't.
said this during the broadcast, right? So
can't.
you got the producer in your ear, and he's like, "Hey, we're back in 3, 2, 1," and while they're counting us down to the very end, right? I'm still talking to him about our fantasy thing, right? And he's like, "We're at 3, 2," and I hear somebody, but in the background in the control room, go, "Shut up, Joe!"
Yeah, beautiful.
I was like, "That was beautiful."
Yeah.
That's
you did.
amazing.
Okay. Here's
Okay.
how it went. Joe had 36.4 points this week.
That's a good-
Preston Hodge had 18. Billy Lucas had a touchdown. So he's up to 280.
Okay, wait, and I get Salter's points. So add
We'll
those up
get
later.
to that.
Okay.
Emily still scored 43.4. Here's what happens with Emily. Oh, I don't know. Maybe we'll just get Austin Henderson catch a couple of touchdowns. That's the kind of year it's been for Emily. So she has 472
Oh my
points.
goodness.
I scored 36.3, led by Tyron Dupree, who's been carrying me all year long. I scored 29.9. I have 361 points. Here's the thing, if we want to do this with Salter. Salter's points by himself was 36.3.
Let's go, man.
So if
I
we
have
want
472.
to start adding
Add
Salter
it,
points,
add it.
we've got to figure out, do we want to do
Add
that
it.
each week? Do we want to keep a separate Salter count from like
Yeah.
this point
What
on?
are we doing?
And then we just add it at
What
the
are we
end?
doing?
What do
Just
you have,
add it.
3?
Just add it. It's not that
You're
complicated.
still not
Matt.
even.
So if you added that Salter to me and Joe,
Not to you.
get-
why not me? I'm also behind by a
You've never
ton.
been brought
You
up in
guys
the
are the-
conversation.
You guys are one.
Why is this just a Joe thing?
You've never even been brought up in the
Then
conversation. What are
you
you talking
shouldn't get
about for
Salter
you?
every week. You'll pass me in 2 weeks.
I'm trying to go for first, baby.
You're not getting there. It's too late. It's too late.
It feels good to
Anyway,
just
I think we know where this
not
is
have
headed.
to worry about.
I think
any
we
of
know.
this 'cause
I think we
how
know
to
where
draft
this is headed.
players. Okay. Mailbag. We got to bold predictions. What do you got? Score prediction at UTEP.
By the way, I last week had Salter with 7 total touchdowns. Didn't quite get
You
there.
said 7?
I did. I went big. Emily said no. Joe said 5 touchdowns for Quentin Cooley. Not there. Emily said 5 total TDs for Daniels and Cooley.
Oh yeah, I meant
there.
Henderson.
Right, I know you
And
did.
Cooley
Yeah.
and
And
Salter.
Yes, that's right.
No.
Okay, Em, what do you got?
All right, I'm going to do 52-10 Liberty.
Whoa.
Yeah. Well, they
Okay.
score like 19 points a game, and they're definitely not going to
fair.
score.
Okay.
Well, what if Chad will rest his starters in the second half? Yeah. That's okay. 52-10. Kaden Salter is... No, we don't want him running the ball too much.
I'm going to throw you guys for a loop.
Do it, Joe. What do you got?
Okay. The score is easy. The score is going to be 42-14. Okay. And then get ready. I'm going off the rails right now. And we're going to have to go, and we're going to have to verify this with Durkin.
Okay.
We got to verify this. Yeah. I'm going Xavier Gadlin for 4 pancake blocks. Okay. I'm talking driving him, putting him on his back. How many pancakes are getting served up? Okay. Somebody get him that message too.
Okay. Oh yeah. Okay.
Somebody get IHOP.
Powered by IHOP and Alcova Mortgage.
I need to think.
Here's what you don't mind. Here we go.
Yeah.
While you're thinking,
offensive line.
Here's what we go.
Protection. That's
I'm going. Liberty wins 41-17, and here's my wrinkle. I'm saying in this the final game. It'll be late game. Liberty has it in hand.
What time's this game kick off?
Was it 3:30? I think. Is that right?
Oh, really?
Double check that. They give the ball to Big Rick Weaver, 93, who's come in twice this season as fullback in goal line situations. He was the kid. He was a Liberty wrestler for the past 3 or 4 years. National championship caliber wrestler here. Went out for the football team this year in his senior year. Made the team. Big 93, 5'11", 335. They brought him in at fullback. This time they bring him in. Give the big fella the rock. Big Rick Weaver takes it in for the score. That's what I say, Joe Yacht.
Slick Rick Weaver.
That's right.
I love it. That is a great.
That's bold. Is that bold?
Those are both bold. Our 2 bold predictions.
Here's my bold. If Von Blue returns, he's scoring 3 rushing touchdowns. Three total touchdowns. Wow. I repeat, 3 total touchdowns.
Okay. Oh, that's good.
3 total touchdowns for.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm blue. I'm a dee da me da da dee.
What is
no idea what she's doing right now.
Okay. Thanks so much for listening or watching the Flame Central podcast powered by Alcova Mortgage.
Alcova.com//Liberty.
And while you are on social media, be sure, like and tag who you would want to bring the conference championship game because you might be club level. I'm going to destroy Matt in the contest. We'll see you right back here next week. Happy Thanksgiving.